What's good, everybody? It's your boy DMV Frizzy here, and we're back again with another video. Just make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share button, and if you haven't already, follow me on Instagram at DMV Frizzy.
Today, from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, it's Week 7 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
They love their crab cakes and they love their football. That's what Maryland does. And we are at M&T Bank Stadium down near the Inner Harbor of Baltimore. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Finds his running back, James Conner. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for 28 yards.
Steelers.
So here we are, Charles, speaking of this rookie quarterback. He's had 1 training camp and, gosh, I don't know, about a month and a half or so of regular season games to try to digest everything. Now here he is making his first NFL start.
And he will tell you that he is calm, has everything under control, that the butterflies won't get him. But let's just be honest about it. They have to affect him at least a little bit. Let's see if he can handle it. Now, preseason, I thought he's a little bit up and down. But you mentioned the time he's had with the team, the time watching the starter play. Here's his opportunity, and I would expect the coaching staff to emphasize what he does.
That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes the score 7-0.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this carries into the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Now we get our first peek at the Ravens offense, and at the helm, of course, the most valuable player of the NFL in 2019, Lamar Jackson. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Ingram going to get it on the option. And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs first time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there is no such thing as a safe run, right? And right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. Got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that.
Brings up 2nd and
A check on the numbers last week for Connor. 21 carries, 70 yards, and a touchdown.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. To throw. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They'll set up to throw. That's going to be caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers.
touchdown.
James Conner with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Not even 2 minutes into this football game, already we've had 2 scores.
You know how much I like to read about teams of old, right? The teams of yesteryear. There were some teams that were known as the point-a-minute teams. Well, obviously in a 60-minute game, that's 60-plus points. But 2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes? My calculator doesn't operate that well.
And now on the other side, they better wake up. They haven't even gotten off the bus yet. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And would you believe it? This is caught in the end zone. And the fake extra point works to extend their lead by 2. And that's something you almost never see nowadays. When you fake it, you're at the 15-yard line on a PAT as opposed to just going for it from the 2.
I'm sorry. I know they got it, and congratulations to them, but it's just not a good play. I mean, the risk-reward is really off the charts, not in your favor. Run your offense out there. Put it on the 2-yard line if you want to go for 2, but I'll be darned. They ended up getting that one, didn't they?
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The ball switches back over to Mark Ingram and the Ravens. He's got to clear his mind a little bit right now. 1 carry, and that carry was a lost fumble.
Clear his mind, clear his hands, and just let this one go. Sometimes it happens. You drop the ball, get a full game ahead of him, hand it to him again, see if they can start to produce.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. Jackson hit. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. That's into the hands of the tight end Boyle. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
Complete to Nick Boyle.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Jackson to Andrews on that one. First down, Baltimore.
It is fun to watch the big man work the middle of the field. How about that poster out there? Did an excellent job of getting his head around to look the football in and gain significant yardage.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Devin Bush, the Steelers' leading tackler as a rookie last year, gets another there. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
At the 47-yard line.
On the option, it's Jackson. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 23 yards to pick up there. I'll tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Ingram, the ball carrier, brought down at the 23-yard line. 1 yard gain.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. This pass complete. Jackson finding Andrews. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. The Steeler defense locked in, forcing an upcoming 4th down. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Makes the score Steelers 34, Ravens 3.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love?
4 verts.
4 verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big, big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great.
Mike 51, Mike 51. What's the run?
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's going to launch it for Washington. He's got a man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 32 on the play.
Able to hit on a big play right there in the 2-minute drill. Now they've got a chance to use all the remaining clock and build on their lead right before halftime.
At their own 39-yard line.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Still comfortably on top, 3rd quarter as they start things here with a 1st and 10. They begin on the ground here with Connor. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 16 yards, a 1st down.
A good carry and a 1st down by James Conner, and this Pittsburgh team is really hoping he's back in form because last year the entire Pittsburgh offense suffered without Ben Roethlisberger at quarterback. James Conner only 715 combined yards, but in 2018, he was a Pro Bowl running back. Combined yardage that year, 1,400.
There he goes left side. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. James Conner, 41 yards. And this offense continues to pour it on.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And only able to get this.
I'm writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
And
a nice gain of 21 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10.
51, Mike 51.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
He's brought down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17.
At the 3-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
4-yard line.
And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Pernell McPhee, always a threat to find the QB, and he gets to him there. 2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. They'll try to surge ahead with Conner. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Only able to pick up a yard, and that's going to leave him with a long 4th and goal. You know what? I know it's 4th down, and they've got a big lead, but go for it.
Yeah, and why not, right? Because they have the big lead. But don't you have to have a little bit of admiration for these guys on the defensive side of the ball? They've been shoved around this entire game, and they're making a nice goal line stand here. It would be fun to see them stop them on 4th down, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but it's like putting whipped cream on broccoli at this point.
So what you're saying is they're going to go for it on 4th down. They're going to get it, aren't they?
I would. And this carries into the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
at their own 25-yard line.
Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Now Jackson on first down. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They still can't get it.
Number 8, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or two.
Go. Go. 198. Watch 98.
On third down, Jackson. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
A gain of 3.
The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Here's Sam Cook now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Switzer on the return.